Hello everybody, welcome back to Arnhem in the Netherlands for race 2, WMX, the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship, 20 minutes plus 2 laps. It's the second half of the season, officially. Round 4 of 6. The first 3 rounds were Sardinia, Spain and Germany. We've had about a 3-month break. We came back yesterday, race 1, and it was a victory for Lotte van Drunen. We'll see the highlights in a few moments' time. Daniela Guillen, Shana van der Vlis, Chiara Fontanesi, Danny Gleeson, running out top 5. A great ride for Lucy Barker in 6th place as well. We're pretty much at sea level. It's sandy. It's just under 1,700 meters long. The racetrack here. But we've got a different racetrack today. They didn't fix the track completely in its entirety overnight. Yes, they fixed the jumps and things like that. Today we've already had EMX-250 race 2. We've had the warm-ups for MX2 and MXGP. The women have been out on their sighting lap ahead of this race. And as you can see, New Holland doing their job down there on the start line, getting that start straight, prepped absolutely perfectly. We're going to go down to the pre-grids, and Daniela Guillen caught up with Lisa a few moments ago.
Okay, let's grab a few words with another protagonist from the WMX class. It's Daniela Guillen. Daniela, yesterday, second in the sand. That was a fantastic ride for you. Can you tell us about that race?
Yeah, yesterday I have a good feeling. I think I started a little bit bad, but then I take a rhythm. I want to pass the riders and still second. So yeah, I'm happy about my rhythm, my feeling with the bike and with the sun. So yeah, we'll see today.
Yeah. It was quite a big break for you girls, wasn't it? Like it was definitely a few weeks, few months even. What were you doing between the last race and now? What were you working on?
Yeah, I'm this precision, little bit precision. I training hard with the team, also with the bike, and also training more in the sand because it's different of Spain. So yeah, I'm feeling good and I have good rhythm to start in the front.
Was a holiday allowed or not?
No, no holidays.
Enjoy this race. Thank you, Daniela Guillen there. Okay, good luck to the girls. It's time for the WMX race 2.
So Daniela Guillen there then talking about her first race yesterday, where she came home in second. We'll see the highlights coming up right now. So round 4 then burst into life here. Lotte van Drunen had a double stab at the start gate. Eventually, where she was released, she did come away with a whole shot. Shana van der Vlis in blue was right there. Danny Gleeson in blue and pink. Chiara Fontanesi was there in 4th place, and Larissa Papameyer. And a few positions further back, Daniela Guillen, just see her there in the red and yellow in the background, right outside of Papameyer. Fontanesi emerged in 3rd place. Guillen and Lotte van Drunen, and Danny Gleeson, they were doing their bit of battling. That was for 4th on lap 4, the Spaniard getting around the Dutch girl. She then went after Chiara Fontanesi. It took her a few laps to get onto the rear wheel, but when she did make the move, she got into 3rd, and then just ahead of her in blue, and a few corners later, Daniela Guillen went after Shana van der Vlis, who was in amongst traffic. Guillen capitalised, went up the inside, moved into 2nd with 4 laps to go. By then, though, Lotte van Drunen was home and dry, and van Drunen went on to win by more than 18 seconds. She's so far undefeated around this Arnhem circuit. Her 4th win of the season. Can she do it again in race 2? So Lotte van Drunen was your winner from Guillen, van der Vlis, Fontanesi and Gleeson. But this is how the riders line up. Lynn Volk, van Drunen, Fontanesi. But no Lynn Volk, of course. She broke her leg yesterday. You may have seen that on social media. Get well soon, Lynn Volk. She fell at the first turn, then was coming through traffic and fell on lap 4. And that was it. Her season is over. She arrived here 3rd in the championship chase, 9 behind Fontanesi, only 15 behind Lotte van Drunen. So not the way she wanted to end the season, and certainly not the way she wanted to end her home Grand Prix. Lotte van Drunen there, cool, calm, collected. Daniela Guillen, amped, ready to go, fired up. Wants to take a race win and the overall Grand Prix victory if she can. Van der Vlis was 3rd in the race. Fontanesi 4, Gleeson, Barker, Papameyer, Sarah Anderson, Verstappen and April Franzoni. They were your top 10. The fly race in 15-second board up for the final time this weekend. WMX race 2 here. It's round 4 of the championship. And the gap between Van Drunen and Fontanesi now out to 13 points. Daniela Guillen 11 points further back. Who will it be that wins the GP, wins the race here? Gates drop, another good jump for Van Drunen. Fontanesi closing the door on her though on the exit. It's going to be Fontanesi who comes away with the foxhole shot. Guillen there in second position. Van Drunen emerging in around about 6th or 7th place because Van der Vlist is in there, Gillissen in there, and over by pit lane there's the red plate holder. Lotte Van Drunen, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th place, maybe even 7th as she gets pushed to the outside here in the final turn, but it's Fontanesi who leads the way. Guillen second, Van der Vlist third, 7:17 there, Danny Gillissen, Jakobsen and Verstappen to the outside, but it's Daniela Guillen trying to make light work of Chiara Fontanesi here on the opening lap as they battle it out for the lead. Just behind them in the white and black, Shana Van der Vlist in third position, hoping for a podium here this weekend at the very least. Van Drunen looking to get around Gillissen, coming out of this turn here. If she does, she'll emerge in 4th place. There's Van der Vlist, Gillissen and Van Drunen over on the right-hand side. Van Drunen up into 4th place. Finding a way past Verstappen, actually. There's Verstappen in the red and white, then Gillissen. And then is that Hughes in the background on the Kawasaki? Martin Hughes, I think it is. Yeah, so a good start for Martin Hughes. She was 11th in race 1. Not the perfect start to the race here for Lotte Van Drunen. She said yesterday, the rougher the track got, the better it was. She was a winner by almost 20 seconds. Oh, fans cheering for Lotte Van Drunen. Rider down off the side of the track. That's Fontanesi is off. The race leader is in the fence. And that's what the cheering and the groaning was about, because at the end of the wave section, it looks like Fontanesi is in the fence. So obviously getting it wrong. We've got a new leader, it's Daniela Guillen. But at the end of the wave, we just heard the groans as something happened. Thought it was initially going to be for the cheering for Van Drunen. But it's Chiara Fontanesi who went down at the end of the wave section. We just saw as we panned around the corner. Watch here, end of the wave, she's going to get bounced. And again here over the berm and straight into the fence. Chiara Fontanesi picking herself up. Fence doing its job. So Daniela Guillen leads the way. Van der Vlist second. Van Drunen here in third with the red plate. Fontanesi is going to be outside of the point. She's in 25th place as she comes through at the end of that lap. That is going to play massively into the hands of Daniela Guillen, because Guillen was only 11 points behind Fontanesi as their fight for second in the championship. Fontanesi was 13 behind Van Drunen. Came in too hot at the end of the waves, mistimed the turn, cross-rutted over the berm, had nowhere to go, no runoff, straight into the fence. Guillen, 5 seconds clear at the moment. She is in Grand Prix winning position here. There she is at the top of the screen, already out of sight. There's the two Dutch girls fight over second position here. Here's Fontanesi in the blue helmet. Still in that, what, 23rd, 24th place. She may have just found another couple of positions. She may be up to, yeah, 21st, because that was Runkiar behind her. Right, Van Drunen wants to win at home. She's going to have to clear Shana Van der Vlist very, very quickly indeed, because the gap going out to 6 seconds between her and Daniela Guillen. Van der Vlist not doing anything to help the cause of Lotte Van Drunen here. Frustrating. The Queen of Sand wants to keep her perfect record around here intact. Came here in 2023. Van Drunen went 1-1. Last year, 24, 1-1. Looking to get around the outside of the 188. hanging off the back of her motorcycle. The DeBarch Yamaha does get the power down, does find a way past Van der Vlist, and moves into second position at the end of, well, at the start of lap 3. The gap will get a split here on the face of this jump between her and Guillen. It's hovering around 7.7 seconds. Guillen's last lap was a 1:57.5 compared to the 2:01.9 of Van Drunen, but now she has clear track. Bear in mind, she was a race winner yesterday by nearly 20 seconds when all was said and done. 18.4. She's going to need to dig deep if she is going to overhaul Guillen and win at home. Right, through the waves we go. Split times in Sector 1, Guillen and Van Drunen, 33.1, 33.3. Sector 2, pretty much even Steven, 29.14, 29.12. Sector 3 will be the other side of the downhill here as they go left-right. It was a 29.10 for Guillen. It's a 29.2 for Van Drunen. But now she has clear track ahead of her. She's got to be careful not to over-race the circuit. But if anyone can get a result here, it's her. But Guillen is going to make it very, very difficult for her. She's already over the line, a 1:58.161, Daniela Guillen. The gap between first and second, 8.6 seconds. There's a mountain to climb here for the 4:01. 1:58.1, 1:59.2. Van der Vlist is in third, Gillen in fourth place, over the line now. She's just found her way past Amandine Verstappen, who is in fifth position. Martine Hughes is in sixth. There's the gap on the monster jump, now in the red and yellow, and then the top right corner, turn 7. Now, middle of the turn. That's what about 8.6 seconds looks like. We'll get another gap here on the face of the jump. 9.6. Oh, I'll tell you what, Daniela Guillen is going to town at the moment. Franzoni up to 7. Lucy Barker, who was 6th in race 1, 8th in race 2 at the moment. Papameyer up to 9. She's found her way past the back from injury Sarah Anderson, who's in 10th. Fontanesi is up to 11. Malu Jakobsen is 12. Matthias Salebo is 13. Kishara Das is in 14. Amber Simons is in 5th. Then we've got Elena Kapsamer in 16th. Here's Martine Hughes around the outside on the 511, Kawasaki. She's in 6th position, going after the 274 Amandine Verstappen of Belgium. The Norwegian here, chasing the red and white of Verstappen. Lotte Van Drunen and Daniela Guillen are going toe-to-toe here, even though they're 9 seconds apart. Guillen was fastest in Sector 1, fastest time by second in Sector 2, Van Drunen. Guillen responding, going faster by about 2 or 3 tenths in Sector 3. And in the end of the lap, we get a 1:58.7 for Daniela Guillen. And as Van Drunen crosses the line now, the gap 8.7. Oh, Anderson off the side of the track, couldn't do anything there. Definitely cost her a little bit of time. Martine Hughes looking to go around the outside. Verstappen, who goes defensive, doesn't get out of the turn cleanly though. And Hughes will nip up the inside and does take 5th away from the Belgian. Again, Daniela Guillen, 32.8, compared to a 33.1 in Sector 1. Making things very difficult for the Dutch girl. A finish like this, it's Guillen on the top step of the podium. For the first time this year, having been on the podium the last 2 rounds, 2nd and 3rd. How much would she love to get an overall win here in Holland, in the backyard of Lotte Van Drunen. Chiara Fontanesi now up into 11th place. Almost 5 seconds behind Larissa Papameyer. Here's what happened on the opening lap. She was leading the way, end of the waves, came in here, bounced, got it wrong, cross-rutted, straight on, straight into the fence. Daniela Guillen, since then, taking over the lead, has opened up a gap that is now coming down between her and Van Drunen to 6.9 seconds, 6.051 seconds at the third split, because Guillen may have been quickest in sector 1, but all of a sudden sector 2, Van Drunen 28.9, Guillen 31.05, 29.8 and 30.7, Van Drunen and Guillen again. And when you get an eye in and you can see the rider is coming back towards you, guess what? You find another gear, you get yourself spurred on. And the gap, 4.8 seconds now. Van Drunen may have taken a couple of laps to find her feet, but boy, she found them. And she is closing in, hand over fist now on Guillen. The lead being slashed by almost half over the last lap and a bit. She's got traffic to deal with. She'll go the long way round because you can see they're already dawdling around there in that turn. The riders ahead of her gets caught behind this one here though. Gap 4.8, so it's gone back out to 6 because of those back markers. So another response then from Guillen. Here she is. The 255 on the RFME Spain national team machine. Here's the Debarch Yamaha rider. Is that 6 seconds? We'll get another split out of this right-hander on the face of the next jump. 29.3. And a 28.6, the gap back down to 5.3. A real game of cat and mouse going on here. Fans on their feet. Van Drunen looking for the three-peat. Guillen looking to spoil the party. Both riders need to keep their cool, hold their nerve. Easier said than done when you're chasing a race win. Nicely done through the chicane. Back marker needs to keep over to the right-hand side. And does so. Wave Jello's into the right-hander, rider off the side of the track there already, actually. Right, there's Guillen. There's Van Drunen. Gap was 4.5 at the last split. Probably be similar this time around. Another rider down there on the exit of the turn. Yeah, back down to 3.9. Time ticking away. 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps. There's Guillen on the city jump. Here's Van Drunen. She'll look ahead, see the Spaniard in red and yellow ahead of her. Through this next turn, she'll certainly have her in her peripheral through there, and then a full sight down this back straight. Guillen will hear the crowd next to her as well, and know that there's only one thing, or one rider that those cheers are for, and it will be for the 401 here. Van der Vlis, third. There'll be 2 Dutch riders on the podium. The other star Dutch rider who should be up here fighting for race wins and podiums this weekend, Lynn Volk. Get well soon, Lynn. The Van Rooij KTM rider who fell yesterday. Picking up a broken leg, out for the season, out of the championship fight, which she was very much a part of. Coming into this 4th round. Guillen through the waves, no dramas, no back markers. Van Drunen having to deal with traffic on the run into that wave section. The gap was 3.7 at the end of the second sector. Guillen with 1 race win so far this year. That was at home at Lugo. Round 2, the opening race of the weekend. She came away from there with a 3rd in race 2, 2nd overall. We'll get the splits, they hit the line in a moment, and the lap times. Here's what happened at the start. Fontanesi started next to Van Drunen, closed the door on the Queen of Sand. She got forced back to around about 7th place as the Italian held a nice tight line through turn 1, came away with a whole shot. Guillen quickly up the inside of Shana Van der Vlis. That was crucial as well. The gap down to 3 seconds, a 2:01.7, a 2 minutes, 0.8. Guillen and Van Drunen, respectively. Guillen knows she can't afford to switch off or relax. She's going to hit a minefield of traffic ahead of her at the end of this straight. Van Drunen might get lucky with the traffic in the opposite direction. Over the tabletop here. She might have to go to the outside at the end of the straight to avoid the rider in red. That's exactly what she does. And if these riders have their wits about them, well, either way, Van Drunen, a better ride around there than she would have had if she would have gone through the inside. Guillen's turn to get held up here. Van Drunen will go around the outside again as she clears the back marker. Sector 2, 30.069, Guillen. 30.6. Oh, that gap going back out to 3.6 seconds between first and second. She's tantalizingly close, but she can't get close enough to the Spaniard, who is riding an immaculate race so far on the 255. The RFME Spain national team rider on that gas. How much more can she throw at this second race? Put in a good fight to get from outside the top 5 in race 1 to get to second, which was a Herculean effort all by itself. Wow, was that Van Drunen? Yes, it was. 2.1 it was as they hit the start straight. The next rider in shot will be Van Drunen. There she is. That's the difference between first and second. And that's the difference between first and second overall in that order in the Grand Prix at the moment. Guillen a 2.2040, 2.029 for Van Drunen. Again, she's got to go the long way around here as she deals with traffic. Wave jellos here. Wheels on the ground. Rider down, just tipping over in that turn. Oh, back end misbehaving on the gas of Guillen at the end of the straight in the braking zone there. Holds a nice tight line through turn 7. Those ruts are already starting to appear. The jump face already breaking down. Inside line, the shortest route through for the championship leader in turn 8. Guillen has to go around the outside here. She may get caught on the inside here behind a slower rider. How much time does that cost her? Not once, but twice. Van Drunen, again, may get the luck of the draw with the traffic. Fontanesi up to 9th place at the moment. That's going to be 6th overall behind Lucy Barker, who's going to be top 5 on the same points as the Italian as it stands right now. Game on. It's going to be 3 laps to go, isn't it, when we hit the line? Because lap times last time around, 2:04 Guillen, 2:02.9 Van Drunen. We're a handful of corners away from hitting the finish line with plenty of time left on the clock. But finally, with just over a minute and a half to go, Van Drunen has Guillen in her sights. The question is, can she find a way past? Will there be some elbows thrown in the next 3 laps? Back markers may be the deciding factor here, you know. Almost identical lap times. Van Drunen half a second quicker over the course of the lap. The gap down to 1.5 seconds. Nicely done, picking up the front end. Back marker was a little bit off balance. Fortunately, the rider here in white was able to clear any kind of problems. Misses her line there, though. Plan B, go a little bit wider. Gap still, oh, it's 2.5. How much have both of these riders got left in the tank? Guillen to turn on the afterburners, Van Drunen to dig super deep here. She's going to get held up here behind the slower rider again. Right, 2.5 it was. What is it now on the face of that last jump? 1.7. Both riders getting held up. The 2-lap board getting readied about a third of a lap from now. Is it going to be last lap drama, or is Guillen going to hang on and take the win, take the overall? Fontanesi up to 8. Both Franzoni and Fontanesi finding their way past Verstappen as they move into 7th and 8th place. Barker in 6th again. That's the gap between first and second, closer than it's ever been for the entirety of this second race. The gap a second as they hit the line again. Van Drunen 2 minutes 0.6, a 2:01.1 for Daniela Guillen. She gets good drive down that back straight, doesn't she, the Spaniard? Van Drunen is running out of time here. There's a little bit skew on the face of the jump there. Back end was just surfing the ruts when she didn't want them. There's a back marker right where she doesn't need her there as well. Daniela Guillen riding a perfect race so far. Again, she will draw more than 2 seconds clear at this end of the first split, I'm sure. 2.6 the gap. Daniela Guillen on the podium last year, 2nd overall with a 3rd and a 2nd. Eyeing up the top step of the podium here with just over a lap to go. If she can stay where she is. Fans all around this racetrack with their hearts in their mouths, fingers in their mouths as well, chewing down their nails. Jumping longer through that turn. The pursuer. We are getting ready to enter a final lap showdown here between Daniela Guillen and Lotte Van Drunen. Van Drunen wanting to win at home for the 3rd year in a row. Guillen looking to spoil the celebrations here. A nice, sweet move through turn 1, though, for the Yamaha rider. The Gas rider knows she's there, though. Keeping an eye on what's going on to the left. Guillen takes the inside line. Van Drunen forced into the outside. Better drive this time around. Again, cuts to the inside here. Guillen has been quick down this part of the racetrack, and she keeps the Dutch girl at bay. Down the back straight for the final time. The Spaniard and the Dutch girl. Guillen finding another couple of bike lengths through that very treacherous minefield that you call a straight here at Arnhem. That was nice there from Van Drunen. Oh, where can she find a way past though if she gets close enough? That is the question. Guillen hanging on, chasing her 2nd race win of the season, chasing her 1st overall win of the season. She knows she has the championship leader right behind her. She can see the fans and hear the fans as well, every step of the way. Will we hear the Spanish national anthem in around about 40 seconds from now? Will it be the Dutch national anthem? Oh, heavy landing in that right-hander for Van Drunen. Is that going to be the difference between 1st and 2nd? Looking for drive around the outside here. Jumping long, stepping down into the chicane. Can she get that sweet outside-inside cut back here and get the run through the first turn? Not as clean as it was a lap ago. Untidy again. Guillen is just 2 corners away from spoiling the party here. She needs to keep her emotions in check. Van Drunen, 2 corners to try and do something about it. Oh, around the outside. Are we going to see last lap, last corner drama? Nothing in it. Guillen wins the race, wins the Grand Prix. 1,500 1/10 of a second in it when they crossed the line. Good race, fantastic race. First overall victory of the season for Daniela Guillen. She goes 2-3-1 over the last 3 rounds. She gets a second race win of the season. She wins here at Arnhem in the Netherlands. Wow. Great performance from both riders. She just overcooked it here, came in and then just ran it wide. Guillen, though, to her credit, held a nice tight line through there. Just there, that little mistake. There was another one where she came in to the right-hander at the end of the waves, where she just buried it too deep as well. Daniela Guillen, 0.159 of a second, the difference between her and Van Drunen at the end of 12 laps of racing. Daniela Guillen that wins a race for the second time this season. Takes her first overall win as well. And it will not be a three-peat for Lotte Van Drunen, the Queen of Sand. Fontanesi passed Hughes on the final lap to move into 6th. We'll do the championship calculations in a moment, but what a race. Once again, Franzoni 8, Anderson 9, Verstappen 10. We wait for those 3 riders to come through, and Papameyer. Mixed emotions down there amongst the fans. Pleased to see such a great performance from their home rider, but just a little bit miffed that Daniela Guillen came away with the win. Anyway, Daniela Guillen, congratulations, the RFME Spain national team gas rider, doing the unthinkable, winning here in Holland.
Daniela Guillen, massive congratulations. That was your first overall of the season, sealed with a race win, and what a race win that was.
Yeah, it was amazing. Win here for me is so special because it's sun and it's so difficult for me. But, well, I win, so I'm really happy. And I want to say thank you to the team, my family, and all the people that helped me, because this is amazing. Thank you.
Enjoy the moment. Thank you, Daniela.
Yeah, fantastic ride, fantastic performance. Cleared Shana van der Vlist on the exit of turn 1, right at the start of the race. Capitalised on the mistake when Fontanesi went through the fence halfway round the lap. From there, she dug in, knew she needed to get a gap. That's exactly what she did. She eventually crossed the line, 1500ths quick, clear of Lotte Van Drunen. The body language from the Dutch girl says it all. Daniela Guillen wins race 2. Lotte Van Drunen second, Shana van der Vlist third. There'll be 2 Dutch girls on the podium. Lucy Barker coming home in 4th place. What a great end to the race that was, as all the other stuff was going on around. Danny Gleeson, Chiara Fontanesi, Martine Hughes and April Franzoni. They are your top 8. Lucy Barker's going to be 4th overall. Wow. She was eyeing up 5th and then 6th when Fontanesi found a way past. Anderson coming home in 9th, and Amandine Verstappen 10th. Larissa Papameyer 11th. Tyra Backstrom, Elena Kapshamer, and then we got Anderson Loth, Fiona Hopper, Laura Runkier. And then rounding out the top 20, Amber Simons, we've got Suri, Bennick and Hovind of Norway. Daniela Guillen goes 2-1 to take the overall from Lotte Van Drunen, who went 1-2, the share of the point. But it's always the better result in race 2 in the event of a tie that will determine the overall victory or position. In this case, the overall victory going to Daniela Guillen. Van Drunen second, Van der Vlist third. Her second visit to the podium. She was on the podium second overall at round 1 in Sardinia. And Lucy Barker, 4th for the young Brit, 6th in race 1, 4th in race 2, picking up 33 points. She'll be absolutely over the moon with that. Barker moving up to 11th. She was 13th at the start of the weekend. Van Drunen 20 clear of Fontanesi now. Started the weekend 6 points clear. It was 13 after race 1, out to 20 points now. But look at Fontanesi and Guillen, 1 point behind, or between those two. And then obviously Van der Vlis moving up ahead of Volk, Verstappen and Papenmeier. Good day at the office for Shana Van der Vlis. Lucy Barker, as we said, moving up to 11th place in the championship now. Sarah Anderson moving back up a couple as well to 13th at the expense of Salebo and Tyra Backstrom. The Manufacturers' Championship. Yamaha still on top, but it's not a done deal yet, is it? Gas breathing down their neck. 4 points between them. KTM third, then we've got Honda, Kawasaki, Fantic and Triumph. Let's go down to the podium though. Round 4 in the books here at the MXGP of the Netherlands in Arnhem, and third overall. It'll be a nice reception for Shana Van der Vlis on the podium again at home. Second at the opening round in Sardinia, third overall here, round 4 in the Netherlands, and does it with 2 third-place finishes. Good, consistent riding from the Tiny Terror. Second overall, Lotte Van Drunen came here expecting to win, wanted to win. You see the body language there. Absolutely distraught that she can't celebrate in front of the home fans with a home win. Second with a win and a second. Daniela Guillen, she'll milk it for all it's worth. The RFME Spain national team gas rider on the top step with a second and a first, her first win of the season.
Mag hier plaatsnemen op het podium. Dan gaan we de lokale overhandiging.
8 race wins now for Daniela Guillen in her career. 16 podiums, a 4th as a winner.
Aan Shana Van der Vlis.
Carol Bonson, the KNMV Supervisory Board Chairman. The third place trophy being delivered to Shana Van der Vlis. It's almost as big as she is.
Op de tweede plaats natuurlijk de wethouder hier van Ironman, Bob Roelofs.
Great performance from Van der Vlis. Bob Rolfs, the alderman of the municipality of Arnhem. The second place trophy to a disappointed Lotte Van Drunen, de Baartje Yamaha.
En dan de wereldkampioen dames van 2022.
But her first winner's trophy of the year, she's already smiling, look. Daniela Guillen at the prospect of picking up a big windmill. Nancy van der Ven, Yamaha Blue Crew Ambassador, 2022 WMX World Champion, hands a winner's trophy to Daniela Guillen, the RFME Spain national team rider. Probably her best, probably her biggest win of her career actually, winning here on Dutch soil. Wim Mulder, the KNMV CEO, handing the winner's trophy to the team representative there. Championship leaders, red plate though, arrived on the front of the de Baartje Yamaha. Lotte Van Drunen, Mr. Antonio Elia Portela will deliver the red plate to Lotte Van Drunen, who continues to lead the championship, not by 6, but by 20 points, as we head to the penultimate round 2 weeks from now in Turkey. But it will be the Spanish national anthem that we hear blasting around this Arnhem circuit. Your top three overall here this weekend, round 4 of the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. Daniela Guillen doing the unthinkable. A second and a first to dethrone the Queen of Sand, Lotte van Drunen, who has a win and a second. Shana van der Vlis 2/3 for third overall. We'll talk to the top three in a moment. Here's the highlights of race 2, though. What a race it was. The second WMX race. Chiara Fontanesi getting the jump on Lotte van Drunen, squeezing her and Daniela Guillen to the inside. Fontanesi came away with a whole shot. Van der Vlis was there second, but Guillen quickly up the inside. Van Drunen was about 7th through the first turn. Fontanesi led, looking to improve on the 4th place from race 1. Guillen looking to improve on that second from race 1 and maybe even take the overall Grand Prix victory. They led through the first few corners. Van der Vlis was there. Halfway round the lap, though, your race leader, Fontanesi, straight out the front door, through the fence, and she was down to about 21st place. She would eventually get back to 6th on the final lap. Meanwhile, Van Drunen coming through traffic, got the better of Van der Vlis. That put her into second on lap 3. She was about 9 seconds down on Daniela Guillen at that moment in time, but the fans every side of the track were urging on her every move. Martine Hughes got the better of the 274 of Amandine Verstappen as she moved up into 5th place. And as the race went on, these two were absolutely wheel to wheel. Guillen still led going into the final lap. Van Drunen doing everything she could to try and find a way through. This was her last attempt at a pass through the first turn. She just ran it wide, buried it too deep, and as they hit the line coming out of the final turn, the gap between Guillen and Van Drunen was 0.159 of a second. Guillen winning for the second time this year, her first overall victory, but doing it here in the sands of Holland, in Lotte van Drunen's backyard. She was absolutely stoked. Van Drunen not so. Shana van der Vlis crossed the line 3rd. She was 3rd in race 1, and that was your podium. Daniela Guillen, Van Drunen and Van der Vlis. A great ride for Lucy Barker going 6-4 this weekend, 4th overall. Van Drunen now extends her lead at the top of the championship from 6 points to 20 with 2 rounds to go. Fontanesi second, Guillen 3rd, just 1 point further back. But it's Daniela Guillen who wins here in Arnhem with a fantastic display. Lotte van Drunen continues to lead the championship. She would have loved to have stood on the top step here today, though. Guillen, Drunen and Van der Vlis, your top 3.
Daniela Guillen, congratulations. That was your first overall of the season, sealed with a race win. That was a massive race win for you. You needed that.
Yeah, I think it's so special win here and do my first win. So yeah, I started good this race, and I started feeling good. I started and push, and then I take my rhythm. Then with the people it was a little bit difficult, but yeah, I'm feeling good, and I want to say thank you to the team, do a good job. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Second overall today we have Lotte van Drunen. Lotte, I guess mixed emotions for you. 2 different races. It looked easy in that first race with that race win. That second race you really had to dig in deep and I guess just run out of time there.
Yeah, I definitely ran out of time. I just didn't get the feeling at the beginning of the race, which really sucked. At the end I was riding quite well, a couple mistakes. Nothing like yesterday, nothing like I used to do the last couple weeks, so it's really unfortunate. I want to say big thanks to everybody supporting me throughout the summer break, and also get well soon to Lynn.
Okay. Thank you, Lotte. Third overall today we have Shana van der Vlis. Shana, 2 solid races for you. That's your second podium, but more special because it's on home soil.
Yes, I'm very happy. 2 good starts. Yesterday I had a good race. Today and it's very difficult, but I'm very happy to be on the podium in front of the home crowd, and yeah, I'm very happy about it.
Thanks, Shana.
Shana van der Vlis then 3rd overall this weekend. 2 third-place finishes for her. Her 6th career podium. Second time as a 3rd-place finisher now for Shana van der Vlis. She's absolutely ecstatic with that. 2nd overall, Lotte van Drunen, de Baart's Yamaha. Didn't have the flow today, not till the second part of the race, but by then she ran out of time. She'll probably question the start as well. Maybe not as good a reaction, maybe not as fired up, I don't know. But anyway, Daniela Guillen, you cannot take anything away from her either. Quick out of the start, quick into the front, capitalising on a mistake. You see how fired up she was ahead of the start. And it paid off as well, because she dug in deep when she needed to. She hung on when she had to, and it was Daniela Guillen who came around. She reversed the results, reversed the tables on Lotte van Drunen to come away with a 2-1. She wins race 2, wins the overall here to take her first win of the season. And before we go, let's take a look at some of the best moments between those two riders on this final lap here, because it was an absolute fantastic race to watch, to witness, from in here in the booth, from out there trackside as well. Coming through the chicane here, this was going into the first turn at the end of the lap. Lost traction there, dug in too deep, but she still had 2 corners. She was rapid through here, but didn't get the drive. Guillen just closed off the opportunity on the outside. 0.159 of a second, the gap between them as they hit the line. They were watching on the big screen over there. Fantastic effort from both riders. Daniela Guillen coming away with the win, Van Drunen second, and that's how it finished overall as well. Good job, girls. Right, we're going to take a break. We will be back at 1 o'clock, top of the hour, MX2 Race 1. We'll see you then. But what a day we've had so far here in Arnhem.